Over the next few minutes, I'm going to take you through 25 incredible life lessons that has the power to reshape your mindset, habits, and life. Some of them will challenge you, some of them will make you laugh, but most of them will make you rethink. So let's dive in. Hello friends, if you're new here, my name is Teny Charles, and in this channel we talk everything about self-improvement, productivity, and minimalism. When someone does something wrong, we often think that people are terrible, but that's rarely the case. Most people are good, and it's only a few people that create the most problems. People don't think about you as much as you think they do, people don't hate you as much as you think they do, and people don't love you as much as you think they do. They're just busy in their own worlds trying to meet their ends. But since people are shaped by different circumstances, they're often complex, and hence their actions usually don't make sense to us. Of course, problems like jealousy, competition, grudge, hatred all prevail, but they're temporary and most people don't hold on to them for a long time. But some people will always hate you and some people will always like you. That's just a part of being human. At the same time, you cannot survive alone. You need people to support you no matter what you say. Think about the last time you had a serious problem. Who helped you out of it? Certainly someone who breathes like you. You just cannot grow alone. But most people would not accept this. You ask a person, how did you get here? And the answer would be all by myself. That's not true, and that's probably his complex ego. Most things that people say or do are just the reflection of what they feel in the moment. And if you start reacting to all of them, you might end up murdering them. But since you cannot survive alone, you'll have to master human skills. And to be a real human expert, you need to be genuinely interested in people. When you're genuinely interested in people, you will start seeing things from their perspective. And when you start seeing things from their perspective, you'll start handling people better. And when you start handling people better, you're going to start handling problems better. Be kind and genuine and don't try to outsmart people, especially in personal relationships. People notice more than they show. Master how to handle people and you'll master life. Here's an interesting quote from Donald Miller on relationships. When you stop expecting people to be perfect, you can like them for who they are. Lesson number 2, AI is here to assist you, not replace you. AI is often seen as a threat to our jobs, but the truth is, it's here to assist us, not to replace us. Remember when computers first came out? People feared they'd take over, but we learned to use them to our advantage. Not only that, it gave us more work. The same applies to AI. If you let it control you, it will control you. If you master it, it'll become one of your greatest tools. Here's an interesting quote from Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft. AI is the ultimate tool to amplify human potential. Lesson number 3, believe in the magic of compounding. Compounding is one of the greatest forces in life. It works in habits, wealth, and health. Small actions done consistently over time lead to big results. Most people don't save money because they think the small leftover amounts won't make much of a difference. But if you use the magic of compounding, those small amounts can grow into something significant over time. For example, let's say that you save only 50 cents a day. Over a month, that's only $15. But if you invest that $15 a month at an average annual return of 8% in 20 years, you would have over $10,000. In 30 years, it grows to nearly $25,000. This shows how even small, consistent saving can turn into something much bigger with time and compounding. The same principle applies with habits. If you start with just 10 minutes of walking a day, it might seem too small for weight loss. But over time, those 10 minutes a day add up. In a year, that's over 61 hours of walking. Over time, the small habit can improve your cardiovascular health, help you maintain weight, and boost your energy. But compounding can also work against you, especially for bad habits. Let's say you eat an extra 100 calories a day, just a small daily indulgence. That adds up to 36,500 extra calories over a year. Over time, that could lead to weight gain and other health problems. Small, consistent bad habits can compound negatively, leading to bigger consequences down the line. Here's an interesting quote from Albert Einstein. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. Lesson number 4, an apple a day actually keeps the doctor away. You've probably heard this saying from your childhood. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. And that's true in more ways than one. Apples are packed with nutrients, but their real benefits come from their ability to help with digestion. They contain pectin, a soluble fiber that absorbs excess stomach acid, and malic acid, which balances pH levels in your stomach. These compounds can help prevent heartburn and acid reflux, making apples a natural remedy for acidity. So the next time you feel off after a heavy meal, grab an apple. Here's an interesting quote from Hippocrates: "Let food be their medicine and medicine be their food." Lesson number 5. Someone will always be above you, no matter how big and famous you are. Even when you think you've reached the top, there's always someone bigger. Take Virat Kohli, one of the most famous athletes in the world, with 271 million Instagram followers. Impressive, right? But then there's Cristiano Ronaldo with a staggering 645 million followers, more than double Kohli's. No matter how successful you are, there'll always be someone ahead of you. This isn't something to feel discouraged about, but a reminder to stay grounded and focus on your work. No matter how high you rise, there's always another peak. Here's an interesting quote from Albert Einstein: "Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value." Lesson number 6. Find a purpose to wake up every day. One of the most powerful things that you can do is to find a purpose. Find something that excites you to get out of bed every morning. Without purpose, you feel like you're just going through the motions. But when you discover something that drives you, everything changes. You become more energized, focused, and motivated even in tough times. A great way to think about purpose is through the Japanese concept of ikigai, which means a reason for being. It's the intersection of 4 key elements: what you love, what brings you joy or fulfillment, what you are good at, your strengths or talent, what the world needs, how you can contribute to others or society, what you can be paid for, turning your passion into something sustainable. When these things align, you've found your purpose and your days start gaining direction. Here's an interesting quote from Viktor Frankl: "Those who have a why to live can bear almost any how." Lesson number 7. Do hard things. We often avoid hard things because they're uncomfortable. But that's where transformation lies. Growth happens when you step out of your comfort zone and face challenges. In the book Do Hard Things by Alex and Brett Harris, they emphasize that society encourages us to do the bare minimum. But true success and self-discovery comes from taking on difficult tasks. By doing hard things, whether it's waking up in the morning, sticking to a routine, or tackling a tough project, you build resilience, learn new skills, and prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you think. Doing hard things builds strength, character, and a life that you can be proud of. For example, training for a marathon is tough, but completing it builds strength, confidence, and resilience. Lesson number 8. Sleep is your superpower. One thing that I have been religiously following post-cancer is my sleep routine. I make sure I sleep 7 to 8 hours every night. In today's fast-paced world, staying up late to work or chill seems like a good idea. But sleep is one of the most powerful problem solvers. When you sleep well, your brain resets, processes memories, and clears out toxins. This helps improve cognitive function, memory, and emotional balance. Sleep also repairs muscle tissue, restores energy, and regulates hormones like those who control hunger and stress. Without enough sleep, decision-making suffers and stress levels rise. Studies show that even one night of poor sleep affects cognitive performance and emotional stability. So if you're stuck up on a problem, sometimes the best thing is to sleep on it. When you wake up rested, you'll see things with a clearer mind. Sleep well and watch your problems start to solve themselves. Lesson number 9. Too much scrolling can ruin you. Endless scrolling on social media or internet can feel harmless, but it steals your time and negatively affects your mental health. Constantly comparing yourself to others' highlight reels can lead to feelings of anxiety, low self-esteem, and depression. Researchers show that social media use is linked to increased anxiety, especially among young adults. Excessive scrolling also damages your attention span and productivity, as the constant flow of notifications makes it harder to focus. Instead of living in the moment, we become addicted to instant gratification. While social media has its benefits, it's important to set boundaries. Schedule specific times for checking your phone and avoid mindless scrolling. Here's an interesting quote from Carl Newport: "The best way to regain control over your life is to take control of your time and stop letting digital distractions steal it from you." Lesson number 10. Exercise is an antidepressant. I'll be honest, I've not been exercising for a while and I feel a bit undeserving of sharing this lesson. But here's the truth. When you're feeling distressed or down, hitting the gym or going for a run might feel like the last thing on your mind. Exercise is one of the best natural remedies for boosting your mental health. It triggers the release of endorphins, the feel-good hormones which instantly lift your mood and reduce stress. Even something simple as 30 minutes of walk could make a big difference. I actually do that occasionally. Studies show that those who exercise regularly experience less depression and anxiety. And don't forget, physical activity improves your sleep quality, leaving you feel clearer and more balanced. And it also increases your self-esteem and confidence. Lesson number 11, untie yourself. Many people are tied to ideologies, be it religion, political party, or social norms. While it's important to have views, don't bind yourself too tightly to them. Doing so can lead to defending outdated beliefs or poor decisions, limiting your growth and perspective. Your culture and tradition should be a source of pride, but don't let it hold you back or make you feel the need for approval. True freedom comes when we allow ourselves to evolve and embrace new ideas. Don't let your culture or tradition hold you back. Be free to evolve. Here's an interesting quote from Albert Einstein. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. Lesson number 12, earn respect. Don't try to force it. Respect isn't something that you demand. It's earned through actions, integrity, and how you treat others. Titles or status don't automatically earn respect. It's built over time with kindness, reliability, and trust. Forcing respect often comes across as arrogance, manipulation, or insecurity, and people can sense that. Take a boss who listens to their employees, appreciates their inputs, and treats them well, they naturally earn respect. But a boss who belittles others may have power but won't earn true respect. Respect is tied to authenticity. When you're true to yourself and treat others with kindness, respect follows. Forcing it only creates resentments, while earning it builds lasting bonds. Earn respect by being the person others want to follow, not because you force them to. As Dalai Lama says, respect is how you treat everyone, not just those you want to impress. Lesson number 13, hard work wins. In 1930s, Alan F. Morgenstern famously said, work smart, not hard. And ever since we've been looking for ways to avoid hard work. But here's the truth, hard work and smart work go hand in hand. You need both. Hard work isn't just physical labor. It's about discipline, consistency, and commitment. It's about sticking to the process whether you're building a business or writing a book. Some might argue that people like milkmen or newspaper delivery workers work hard, but they never escape their struggles. The key is that hard work isn't just about putting in hours. It's about staying consistent and focused on the right things that could take you to your goals. In the end, the hardest working person always has an advantage over those who rely on talent and smart work. Work hard and stay disciplined. You will always have the upper hand. Here's an interesting quote from Thomas Edison. Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Lesson number 14, be your biggest fan. In life, there's always people who doubt you, criticize you, and tell you that you can't achieve your dreams. But the person whose opinion matters most is yours. You have to be your biggest fan and your biggest supporter. If you can't believe in yourself, why should anyone else? Celebrate your small wins, acknowledge your efforts, and keep pushing forward even when things get tough. It's easy to get discouraged when you're not getting the recognition you deserve, but real success starts from within. As Steve Jobs says, your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. Be your biggest fan and the world will eventually join in. Lesson number 15, focus on one thing. When you focus on one thing at a time, you can really concentrate on it. This focus helps you do it better, faster, and with more precision. We often think that multitasking makes us more productive, but it drains our energy and increases the chances of making mistakes. The more we spread ourselves thin, the harder it becomes to make progress. Researchers show that multitasking reduces productivity by up to 40% due to the switching cost of constantly refocusing. By focusing on one task at a time, you enter a flow state where you perform at your highest level, reducing stress and improving results. Here's an interesting quote from The One Thing by Gary Keller. What's the one thing you can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? Lesson number 16, get over your guilt. Many religions and relationships use guilt as a tool to keep people in line. But holding on to guilt only harms you. It's important to take responsibility of your actions, but don't let past mistakes weigh you down. Guilt can be a tool to control, but it shouldn't define you. The key is learning from your mistake, correcting what you can, and moving forward. Lesson number 17, be a bit overconfident. A bit of overconfidence can help you make bigger changes than someone who is skilled but underconfident. Understand the difference. Confidence is rooted in belief and arrogance stems from insecurity. When you're confident, You're more likely to take risks, face challenges head on, and make decisions without second guessing. Studies show that confident individuals are more successful because they trust their abilities, which opens door to better opportunities. Just remember, overconfidence doesn't mean taking reckless risk. It's about believing in what propels you forward, not what puts you in danger. As Albert Bandura says, confidence is the key to success. Those who believe in themselves are more likely to achieve their goals. Lesson number 18, define your success. We often tie success to material things, but that's not true. Success isn't about having more money, less money, or perfect work-life balance. The truth is, success has no universal definition. Don't let anyone dictate whether you are successful or not. Your journey is unique. For some, success could mean joining the army. For others, it might mean building a brand or becoming a journalist. People in different fields may earn different amounts, but that doesn't define success. Look at Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Rumi. They had little in material wealth, yet they are some of the most successful people in history. If you feel you're successful, then you are. As Tony Robbins says, success is not what you have, but who you are. Lesson number 19, your child is your reflection. If you are a parent who often finds yourself yelling at your child for not being how you expect, take a step back and reflect. Children are often a reflection of their parents. They might not always listen to your words, but they're always watching what you do. They mimic your action, how you treat people, how you walk, and even how you eat. If you feel that your child is not living up to your expectations, ask yourself, are you being the role model they need? Change your actions and watch how they start to imitate you. As Frank A. Clark says, a child is a person who's going to carry on what you have started. He's going to sit where you're sitting, and when you're gone, will be sitting in the shade of what you've planted. Lesson number 20, forgive your parents. If you're someone who constantly complains about your parents or struggles to forgive them, then it's time to reflect. We all learn through experiences, and so did your parents. When you were 4 years old, they were likely in their late 20s or early 30s. They may have seemed mature, but deep down, they were still figuring things out. Real wisdom often doesn't come until your 30s and 40s. Whatever mistakes they made were a part of their learning process. If they had known better, they would have acted differently. Forgiving them is often the first step toward healing. Lesson number 21, learn to accept no. Social media coaches often emphasizes the importance of setting boundaries, but they don't teach you how to accept it. Just as you set your own boundaries, it is essential to respect someone else's. Accept a no with grace, don't ask follow-up questions, or even try to dig deeper. Understand that they have their reasons just as you have yours. Everyone has personal limits, and respecting others' boundaries is just as important as having your own respected. We often struggle with this because we mistakenly see others lower than ourselves. The truth is, we are all equally vulnerable in this world. As Brené Brown says, daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves, even when we risk disappointing others. Most things and people are simply none of your business. Know only what you need to know. Lesson number 22, you cannot win every day. In life, we don't win every day. In fact, winning days are very rare. Most of the days are filled with setbacks and failures. But it's those tough days that shape our character and lay the foundation for the victories ahead. What truly matters is the effort you put in, even when things are not going your way. It's about staying aligned with your plans and goals and believing in them, especially when it feels like you're falling. That persistence is what creates those few but winning days. Take Sachin Tendulkar for example. He played 664 international matches over 24 years, scoring 100 centuries and 164 50s. While those milestones were legendary, they show he didn't achieve a 50 or 100 in most matches. Yet, it was his consistency, preparation, and perseverance that made him the greatest of all time. As Vince Lombardi says, the man on top of the mountain didn't fall there. You don't need to win every day. Just keep showing up and victories will come. Lesson number 23, you don't have to read 48 books a year. There's a saying that the average CEO reads 48 books a year. That's 4 books a month. That sounds impressive, right? Balancing work, house chores, cooking, and taking care of kids, reading 48 books a year can feel impossible. While reading from great genres can open new perspectives, you don't need to put so much pressure on yourself. Reading just 1 book a month is more than enough. That's still 12 books a year. And when you approach reading intentionally, even 1 book can change your perspective and spark your ideas. It's not about the quantity, it's about quality. 1 great book can change your life. Don't rush through them, let them work their magic. Lesson number 24, work on your system not goals. We are often told from a very young age to focus on goals to achieve success. But what if the key isn't goals itself, but the system you build to achieve it? Goals can be motivating, but they're temporary. Once you achieve them, what's next? A system, however, is something that you continuously improve and rely on. It's a habit, routine, and process that helps you move forward day after day. Focusing on a system allows you to make progress regardless of whether you hit a goal or not. Systems are sustainable and scalable, while goals are one-time achievements. By working on a system, you're closely moving closer to success without feeling pressurized by the outcome. As James Clear in his book Atomic Habits says, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Focus on building systems, goals will take care of themselves. Lesson number 25. This too shall pass. Everything good or bad will eventually pass. Nothing lasts forever. Not happiness, certainly not sadness. When you're facing tough times, remember, this moment is just a chapter in the bigger story of your life. It will pass. Don't get stuck in failure. It's a temporary setback, part of your journey. Failure doesn't define who you are. You don't have to let it linger. And success, it's great while it lasts, but it won't stay forever either. So enjoy the highs and keep moving forward, because life is always changing. And it's a wrap on 25 lessons. I hope something here spoke to you. These aren't rules, they're just reflections that most of you already know. Remember, you're not alone figuring things out. We're all in it together. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps. I would love to hear your thoughts too, so drop a comment and let me know what resonated most with you. As always, take it one day at a time and keep pushing forward. See you next time.